Hello, and YouTube. Welcome to our channel, Travel Insight. I'm Mika, and thank you for stopping in. Now, before I begin sharing a little insight on this property, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Mika. Well, I already said that. But no, let me give you a brief synopsis about Travel Insight because it has been a while since we've done a full video. All right, so Travel Insight is a boutique travel agency located right outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, we have over 20 years of personal travel experience, with 7 of those working as travel professionals and 1 of those as travel agency owners. My husband and I are co owners. Now, we specialize in travel throughout the Caribbean and Mexico. We also partner with every major cruise line. And listen, if you're interested in a thrill seeking adventure to Universal Orlando Resort, we can bundle a wonderful package together for you as well. Now, at Travel Insight, we don't just plan trips, we actually live by them, meaning we have firsthand travel experience and we get to gain real insight into destinations, resorts, different cruise brands, and more. All so we can match you with trips that fit your travel style. How? Because as agents, we feel like it's our duty to actually go out and walk the beaches, sail the ships, taste the food, be immersed in the experiences so we can better help plan your journey. And isn't a vacation a self-investment? Couldn't you agree with that? So we do everything in our power to treat each reservation like our own, like it's literally ours, by protecting your self investment, even the things that you don't see. If it's crazy flight schedule changes, we handle that. If there's a price drop and we can get your price lower even after you book, we handle that and send you an email saying, hey, I saved you some money. If in the event like there's bad weather, a hurricane, I'm already on top of it, having ideas so we can pivot and roll on to the next thing. We always make sure it's client first. And you're not going to get that just by a Google search. I promise you that. So listen, since you stopped in, I'm going to call you friend. So hey friend, let's pretend we are just sitting, talking, having a casual, one-sided conversation. So I talk and you listen. Just pretend we're sitting across from each other. And in this video, I'm going to provide you with some facts, some insight, some opinions based solely on our travel here and our past travel history. Nothing more, nothing less. But what's important is that you get to see a little of what you're probably entertaining walking into. Now, this bar in the lobby, I want you to pay attention here. There is a sign, silver sign on that top shelf. And do you know what that means, friend? Only privileged guests get the top shelf. So that's something you need to know. If you only drink top shelf liquor, you might want to consider getting preferred. Now, let's talk about this lobby. It is light, it's airy, it is well decorated. I think all the colors, patterns, shapes, I think they mesh all together very well. I like a nice, light, airy lobby. The windows are the highlight for me because it brightens everything up and it draws you outside. And isn't that what we're on vacation for also? The beautiful, tropical outdoors. Yes? Now in this video, it's like 52 minutes almost, all right? So hang on. It's going to be a while. I'm going to do a property overview. There's a room tour in this video. I'll talk about the privilege amenities and other things that they have here for non-privileged guests, all of the amenities. We're going to talk about the beach. We're also going to talk about the room and the cosmetic issues that we encountered. But look, right here, right off the lobby, there's this nice outdoor space with glass pane so it doesn't interfere with the view, but you get an A line straight to the ocean. This was nicely done by H10. Also, you can get a pretty good view of what the resort is shaped like. It's pretty much shaped like a U. Very easy to find. Everything you need to find. So literally, if you're on a 3-night or 4-night trip, you won't have a problem getting lost, friend. You know how some properties are just so large, so expansive that if you're there for a short night, you don't even get a feel for the footprint of the property. You leave and then there's stuff that you didn't even touch and get to see because it's so big. And here's another fact. When you are talking to us and you're about to go on a trip, if you don't want a large resort, you want something that's easy to navigate, let us know because that matters and it can make a difference in your vacation and whether you feel like you had a good time or you feel like you got a workout just going from one side to the other. So those are things to let us know in the beginning phase of trying to get you a quote. So let's go over a quick property overview here. Now, Ocean Allure Costa Mujeres is a new build property that opened in December of 2025. Very recently opened. Now, it's an adult only, all inclusive. This resort has 599 ocean inspired rooms with categories from entry level junior suites to Privilege Master Suites. Some of the standout features at this property, if you've been doing a little homework, you probably already know, but there is a lazy river, a flow rider, there's a 6-lane bowling alley, and inside the bowling alley, there's also a golf simulator. Now, things to know, right? Let's back up. Things to know if you are bowling, make sure you take some socks, friend. Make sure you take some socks. They're going to give you some shoes, but take some socks with you. And here you see the coffee shop. If you have coffee shop on your must-haves, they have one here. It's a very nice coffee shop. I love the menus here behind the counter, all digital, very nice. They did a great job with that. And beside the coffee shop, there is also a sweet shop that's coming up next. And I think you'll like that too. But let's get back to some of the features that they have here. They have pickleball courts. All right, and let's say pickleball is hot. There are groups that I booked to travel because they like to have pickleball tournaments. And it is the to-do. Pickleball, they have tennis court also, okay? And if you are looking to stay fit and tone on vacation, they have a 24-hour gym as well. Now, I'm going to do better going forward with working out while I'm on vacation. I have to do something instead of become a sloth. My husband, though, he stays faithful. I give it to him. And if you're not into the gym, maybe you're into the spa. There is a full-service spa, the Despacio Spa on property. And if you would like to beautify, there's a beauty salon. All right? There's so much more to enjoy and get into if that is what you are looking to do on this property. And I mentioned all of this, but I can also tell you, just so you can get a feel for what we experienced during our stay. The capacity at this resort was probably a little less than 50%. New resort capacity was about less than 50%. There definitely this is not a party atmosphere. It was very chill, very relaxed. You can definitely make your own fun. And if I say it's not a party atmosphere, that could change at any time if you really want to think about it. It could be a group of 100 that comes in and they could really turn things up. But they're still finding their groove here. Um, let's talk about the food, the restaurants that are here at this resort. There are 8 restaurants. One of those is specifically for privileged guests only. So that leaves you with 7 restaurants if you were non-privileged, right? You hear me? You feeling what I'm saying? And reservations are required for the steakhouse and Japanese only. So what I can tell you is we did get reservations via our butler for a couple of restaurants. And although we had a reservation, I think the longest wait we had was about 20 minutes after we had gotten there for our reservation. So don't be surprised if you have a reservation and you still have to wait some, okay? Now, this could definitely change in the future. But I'm just telling you what we experienced when we were there. If you are wondering, if you're a I need a buffet person for dinner, currently, I don't know if they have any plans on having a dinner buffet, but currently there's no dinner buffet. Okay? I don't know if that's going to hurt your feelings or not or change your mind, but there's no dinner buffet if that's what you're looking for, just for, like maybe you don't want to dress up. You just want to go grab something, chill, and that's it. But no, not here, okay? Room service is until 10 p.m. for non-privileged. Go on, give me that thumbs up. Y'all saw it. Room service is until 10 p.m. for non-privileged. And if you are privileged, it's open. It's available for 24 hours. Bars. There are 10 bars, and we've just seen the coffee shop. And some of those bars are privileged also. Now here, for rent, cabanas. If you're a cabana type of person, they do have cabanas, nice cabanas, as you can see. They are for rent. And unfortunately, friends, I did not get the cost of the cabanas. Now, what we do know is that whether I got it or not, prices could change. They could have gone up or down by the time you get ready to go there. However, if you were a client of ours, I would gladly find that out. Matter of fact, I would try to reserve one. Who knows? Maybe you're a great client and maybe I would just pay for it on the slide just for you because you're celebrating something special. Who knows? But we won't never find out, especially if you're not my client. So let's talk about this lazy river that is going to be everyone's favorite, I'm sure, when they go here, especially in the warmer months. Now, while the lazy river isn't like the longest lazy river on the planet, it is suffice. And there's nothing like adults being able to go on vacation and kind of being like a kid at heart again. And I think this helps to add to that feeling while you're on vacation. And another question that we've been seeing pop up, or that we've been getting when people have been, contemplating going here, is if this resort has floaties. And the answer is yes, they do supply floaties for the guests here. They have double floaties. They also have single floaties. So the double floaties, if you feel like floating down the lazy river with your boo, your bae, your partner, your love, they have those. Now, let's go back and bear in mind that we were here and the capacity was pretty much low. We were here during the month of January, so the water temperature is cooler. And while floaties were in abundance while we were there, that doesn't mean it's going to be the same for you when you go, right? Because it's all about demand. It's first come, first serve. And I guarantee you, as it gets hotter and people are trying to cool off, they gonna yank those floaties up. And if some people are as selfish as some people can be, they might even take them back to their room as they lay claims to them, unfortunately. So if you travel with your own floaty, I definitely pack my own floaty just to be on the safe side, because you don't want to pay for them when you get there at the gift shop. And we travel with ours, and we also travel with our own inflator. So keep that in mind if you're considering traveling here, especially to take part in the lazy river, all right? And let me tell you another thing about this lazy river. So let's just picture this. You're floating down the lazy river, parlaying, having a good old time, and then you get the urge that you would like to have a margarita. Friend, there is a bar that I will show you when it comes into frame. That thatched roof right there, that's a bar. And guess what? They have seats in the water. So you can literally float down the lazy river, hop off. Maybe you could pull up on your float. I don't know. If you got skills like that, maybe you could do that. You can literally float down the lazy river and stop by the bar and grab yourself a drink. Now, who thought that out? Because I think it was very well thought out. So now we're talking about an adult-only resort with a lazy river, with a flow rider, with a 6-lane bowling alley, and no kids. You're not fighting the kids. And you know, kids can try to be sneaky and skip the line. We experience that a lot, especially on a cruise. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So let's talk about this soft opening thing, right? Now, during soft opening, if you are not, sure of what that is exactly, when you stay at a soft opening at a resort, typically not everything is clicking on all cylinders. All right? Typically. Staff will oftentimes still be finding their groove. And this could be from anyone from the front desk to housekeeping to the chef to the butler to the maintenance man. I'm just saying. That's what can happen. That's what can sometimes go on during a soft opening. It could also mean you could possibly experience hiccups in maintenance and so forth. So like, they might not know that your hot water isn't working until you really get up in there for a few days. You might get a leak. Who knows? It's possible. All right. But like I tell everyone, they usually lower their prices during the soft opening phase. So you have to determine if that's the trade-off, that you're okay with that. All right. Also, if you are someone who loves mature, lush, tropical foliage, chances are you won't find that at a brand new build resort. All right. And honestly, once the foliage grows in here, it will look more tropical, but there's a lot of concrete out here. So when you are considering hiring us as your travel agent, those are things we need to know also. If you're looking for beautiful, lush, overgrown, tropical, floral, we need to know these things so we can make sure we're sending you somewhere You will be happy. Okay? Now, with a brand new resort, 99% of the time, we do not book our clients to brand new resorts during soft opening phase because we are trying to curtail levels of disappointment. And that's about it. Like I said, a vacation travel is a self-investment, and we want to make sure that we're sending you at the best time. So if you come to us and you have a budget and then there's this new resort that you heard about, everybody said it was so great on Instagram and on TikTok, and you're saying, oh, I want to go there. And I'm saying, hey, listen, friend, this is your budget. I could get you the new resort. I could get you 2 resorts that are that have been tried and true, and I know have good ratings, and I know you'll probably be happier with. I'm going to recommend the ones that might be running more like a well-oiled machine because I want to make sure you're as happy as possible. So I typically don't book for about 6 months to a year or so at a new resort. But if you come back and you say, hey, Mika, listen, I really want to go. This is a good deal. You've explained what could happen. I'm okay with that. I want to take the chance. Then, honey, I will go ahead and get you booked as long as you understand and your expectations are properly set. All right, so let's talk about entertainment. All right, so daytime pretty much lines up with what you typically find at other resorts, right? Things like water aerobics, beach volleyball, Spanish lessons, pool volleyball, crazy games. Everybody, if you're not participating in crazy games, a lot of times people like to at least look at the crazy games because it is usually very fun to watch. Live music from time to time with a violinist or a sax player. They've since started having phone parties since we've left. So just to show you, it's a soft opening. They're still finding their groove. They're still beginning to add on things for entertainment and activities. So nighttime, you can look forward to things like there will be a pop-up show and performances in the bowling alley. There's a fire show. Pianists pop up and pop in the piano bar. There's also a silent disco, macrame workshop, live DJ, and karaoke now. So they are improving and adding things. Now here is the ground level Privilege pool area. Yes, Privilege pool on the ground level. So you can't go over there unless you are privileged. I don't know if that's going to matter to you, but to some folks, they like having a little extra space to go to, especially if they feel like things are a little more crowded. And it is no make or break, all right? Whether you're privileged or non-privileged, it all depends on your travel style. I can tell you, I think the privilege is worth it. It was worth it to us. So it's a good time, I think, to talk about what you actually get if you are privileged, part of the Privilege Club. And the Privilege Club is just to enhance your vacation. Some might feel it's worth it, some might not. Your stay comes with a complimentary bottle of wine, which, to be honest, we didn't get, but we did get a bottle of champagne and strawberries instead in our room. We were also able to pick a full bottle of liquor, and full transparency, we were there for 4 days and we did not get our bottle of liquor until the 3rd day. Thanks for our butler taking care of that. Butler service comes with Privilege Club level. Now, another moment of full transparency, we never even met our butler. Not even one day. Now, he did communicate via WhatsApp. If we had reached out and asked for dinner reservations. So that was that for Butler for us. You also get access to an additional restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this is an a la carte menu. Now for breakfast, they do have a section inside the Privilege Club where they have a small buffet set up, so you could go in there and you could pick up a few things also. Um, and there is the Privilege Club Lounge, very nice. They have a indoor seating, outdoor seating, a nice bar. Privileged guests also get access to dos rooftop lounges. Each has a bar and infinity pools. So there you have it, 3 extra pools if you are Privilege Club. Now, here is one of the Privilege rooftops. There are two, one on each building. This is properly named the Sunset Lounge. Why is it named the Sunset Lounge? Because everyone says this is where you want to be to watch a beautiful sunset. Now, if you ask me, friend, if we saw the sunset from here while we were there, I'm going to tell you no. We were too busy running around, getting video, getting footage, trying to enjoy what we could enjoy. And honestly, I'm hoping that we'll be able to make it back to this resort maybe after another year or so, just so we can revisit, make sure we gave it a fair assessment. And sometimes, a lot of times, that's kind of hard to do during the opening phase. So as you can see, this is a magnificent view from the infinity pool. Just beautiful. And there are clam loungers. Yes, you can parlay and take in all of this beauty from either one of the lounges. There's a bar at each lounge. And the only reason why I'm filming one is because they look identical. So I'm only putting one in the video. There's a nice grass wall back there with table and seating. And just so you get a quick snapshot of the corridors, this is what the corridors look like. I'm going to give you the nighttime of the corridors also, because those lights are pretty, and I love resort lights at night. Inside, outside, I love to see the resort lit up. So here we are at 32 minutes in, and it is room tour time. Yay! Now go ahead and give us a thumbs up, please. If you do not mind, it costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps us out tremendously. Now, our stay was in a Privilege Master Suite Oceanfront, and I'm going to give you the room number. We were in room 1272. All right, somewhere it's listed that this room is over 1,100 square feet. I didn't take a tape measure, so I can't validate that, but it's a large room, right? It sleeps up to 4 people. There are 2 full bathrooms, a living room, a separate sleeping area. There's also a pull-out couch, and I'm assuming that's to sleep 2 more people at least. Now, before you go ahead and cozy up in this space with 4 people, please consider the size of the pull-out couch, and if you think an additional 2 people will be comfortable sleeping on a pull-out couch, assuming that's your sleeping arrangement. I'm not for sure. Now, we found that this place had lots of storage, ample storage here. And for us, this room, the balcony, the view was the highlight for us. We found the mini bar was fully stocked. And honestly, the only thing that we needed replaced was the water during our stay. And we had no problem getting water. Now, let's talk about some of the details that you might not see completely right here. I do have another video before this overview ends, all right, of some of the little minute things that we encountered in our rooms. Now, my husband, we are certified room snobs. I'm going to admit it, and I'm not ashamed of it, okay? I'm not ashamed to say that I'm a room snob. People who pay for the more expensive room categories, they need to admit to themselves also that they are kind of, sort of, a room snob. Let's just be honest. When people pay for an elevated room, the higher tier room category, it's because they love having a nice room. Would you agree? Now, granted, this is soft opening, and we anticipated that there might be some uneven finishes, some rough patches here and there in our room. And let me just go back some. This is not our first rodeo. We've stayed at other properties, different brands, during the soft opening phase. So we know, things could be a little rough in rooms, and maybe not every spackle or caulking or paint is in its place. We understand those things, right? This room seemed to have excessive sloppy work and finishes that were not complete. And I was so surprised. Now, this was our first real stay with the H10 brand. And so I don't know if it's brand specific. I really don't know, because we've never encountered such sloppy work on a soft opening. And I'm hoping that these things will get corrected for the next guest. A few things did get corrected while we were there, and I'll go over those briefly. But this coral decor glass behind the bed, it was really gunked up. And I don't know if it was like glue and whatever. Some of the parts looked like glass looked like it was like barely hanging on. It wasn't crafted and put together well. This vanity was missing knobs and pulls. I mean, there was the clothes hanging bar in this cabinet that was missing. There was a big piece of tile missing in the bathroom. There was a big chunk of wood that surrounds the mirror that was missing. The glass behind the mirror behind the door was broken. I mean, it was just so much little stuff that just added up, and I was thinking I'd been pranked for some reason. Like, why is it seeming like everything in this room is just such a sloppy finish? The handheld showers seem too high. And I'm 5'3", and my husband is 5'10", and we could both agree the handheld showers, they are too high. I need them to work on lowering that if they can. The grout around the toilet and other various areas almost looked like in some areas it didn't even have grout. I would expect a lot more for a mid-tier hotel brand. So hopefully they can work on these things. I would love to go back, and I would love to see the improvements. So on the balcony, we did have 2 loungers and 2 chairs. Now, our loungers were actually broken, but I can say maintenance did come and they fixed them up. They added some screws so we could sit upright, and our tub was very gunked up with caulk and looks like what was construction material. And housekeeping came and she scrubbed her heart out. There still were a few spots in there that she couldn't get up, but she made it look so much better. So this was my attempt to catch the sunrise, and I did catch it on one day, but I so appreciated the views from this room. And I did enjoy the room, even though there was like a lot of cosmetic things wrong. Now, folks, let's face the facts. Anyone can book a trip. But at Travel Insight, what we do is go beyond just the booking process because what we built is based on experience and building relationships with clients who respect what we do and trust us. We book, service, and optimally design the right vacation, and we always take pride in doing what's right by you. If you're tired of being your own travel agent without getting paid, or if you'd like to support our small business at no extra cost, we'd love to add the magic. Please don't be afraid to reach out. Now, full transparency though, okay? I've said this word transparency a long time, several times, but we do charge a small non refundable intake fee for new clients only. It is a one-time fee, and we ask that you fill out a detailed form before beginning so we can see if we can actually assist you before a fee is expected and collected. This fee is collected so we can begin our trusted partnership together. We even extend the courtesy of returning the fee amount to you if you book and after travel is completed. Booking with any travel agency is about trust, so we might as well start from the beginning of this process. Would you agree? We began charging fees simply because we've been doing this long enough and we've come to the realization that time, precious time, which we often take for granted, is truly our greatest asset. It's truly our greatest gift, and it's our most valuable resource when properly managed, right? That's why, as a boutique agency, it's imperative that we commit the best hours of our day to servicing reservations we're entrusted to manage, and to continue learning and doing training with suppliers, and to take care of ourselves and our families. And we hope that if you're considering booking with us, we hope that you respectfully understand that. There's nothing more painful and regretful to spend hours upon hours upon hours working with potential clients. And I know we're in sales, but literally our business continues to thrive off of referrals and clients who trust us. But we always try to find room to grow. So that is why I do things like YouTube, trying to extend my reach. But we hope that you understand that. When you spend countless hours helping and trying to get people places where they come to you for and they ask about vacations, and you spend hours trying to plan and gather things based on what their preferences are, and they completely ghost you, or they take what you've given them and they book on their own. And then you realize, well, I could have been doing X, Y, and Z, but instead I took a chance. And for me, it's never about money. It's always about my time. And so time is more important to me than anything. So I feel like we might as well start up front. If you can't trust us enough to pay at least a small fee, then it's doomed from the beginning. Because what you're going to be doing, and I'm going to need from you if you're going to book with us, personal information. This could go as far as, and more than likely, your credit card information also. So trust is a two-way street, folks. So my sports bar lovers, I truly like the aesthetics of the sports bar. And if you're planning on going, I think you would like it too. Very nicely set up. I love there's also an extension to the sports bar on the outside for those stunning outdoor views. Very nice. H10 did a very nice job with that. I also have to reiterate, I have such high hopes for this property and its potential. You know, when you're an adult and you want to be young at heart, I love these amenities here. The bowling, we played bowling. You do have to make a reservation. And if there's a lane open, hey, you'll probably be able to just get your shoes and walk right on up like we did. Um, we played maybe, I think, my husband and I for around 50 minutes to an hour. And can I tell you, friend, I had my hair straight when I went in, and when I came out, it was all puffed up because I worked up a sweat. And you see the golf simulator right there. We didn't get to try that, but there's a bar in here, a full bar, and they had disco night, and the disco music was jumping. It was really jumping. Lazy River is a plus, 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 plus. Definitely great for the adults. Flow Rider, this gentleman here, he was so kind. I was talking about maybe doing it, and he was hyping me up, y'all. He was really being in my corner, and he was ready to cheer me on, but I was too nervous, so I didn't do it. I did not want to use my insurance on vacation, my travel insurance. No, no ma'am, no sir. Didn't want to do it. But I in turn hyped him up because I thought he did a fantastic job. And I thought I recorded the part where he did a rollover on the board, surfboard. I thought he was great. But if you're going and you're good with doing this, you'll totally love it. So here's a quick note on the beach. This resort sits on a nice beach in Costa Mujeres. This area typically doesn't receive as much seaweed like other areas in Mexico due to it being protected by the adjacent island of Isla Mujeres. And another little tip, if you're in this area and you've never been to Isla Mujeres, go to Isla Mujeres. Actually, I think right there on property, you could probably arrange that at the little kiosk there that does excursions. So keep in mind, this beach that you're looking at, we went in January 2026. So the seaweed and the sargassum really doesn't get ramped up normally until the warmer months. But for reference here, we also stayed at Secrets Playa Blanca, which is right next door, and we stayed there during the month of July one year. And while it was a little more seaweed than what you're gonna see in this video, it really wasn't a lot. And so just keep that on your mainframe. Now, does that mean that one year something couldn't go rogue and there is seaweed, a lot of seaweed? Of course. Seaweed, the amount of seaweed sargassum could change from 1 hour to the next, from the morning to the night, from one month to the next. Matter of fact, we were in Playa del Carmen after this, and surprise, surprise, there was a lot of seaweed on the beach in front of the resort in January. I didn't think it was possible to see that much seaweed. But what do I know? I don't control the earth. But that's some seaweed right there in the frame. And that's about all that we experienced in this area while we stayed here in Costa Mujeres. So if you're a beach person, very nice stretch of beach in this area. When they started building up Costa Mujeres, they hit the nail on the head. And I'm excited about it. So believe it or not, friend, we're almost to the end of this video. Hooray, hooray. Thank you if you stayed the entire time. Thank you for watching with us. Also, if you had to pause or take a break, hey, and came back to it later, thank you also. I appreciate you. I am so lighthearted. So if you find this video lighthearted, that's just because that's who I am as a person and as a travel agent. So if you get to know me, yeah, you'll get the silliness and the memes, but there's a lot of seriousness when it comes down to business and me handling business for my clients. Here's a closer look at some of what we experience in our master suite. Once again, thank you for stopping by. If you found something in this video remotely helpful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, friends, perfection is the enemy of progress. I thank you for taking the time to chat with me. And until next time, see you later.